All right, guys, so I feel like I've been probably avoiding this, saving this for the last thing to do because it's probably the thing I'm most anxious about because it's not something I do normally. Not only are we, doing trusses 2 foot on center, which I've done. I mean, I've built houses and this is not out of norm, but here in this space where we have 8 foot on center trusses, we got posts that take our truss and we just set them into the post. It's very easy, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and set up this area to build this entire truss set, which is 33 foot long, 24 foot wide, and they're irregular trusses, so they're not just flat bottom, they're not even just raised core. Like I have different heel heights on both sides. So I'm gonna set it up. I've done the math, the Magni capacities work out. I should be able to reach this whole thing out. I just don't know how much I need to do to structure this to do this, so it doesn't fall apart on me, but also I don't wanna put too much weight up there because I don't know exactly. Well, I could do the math. I mean, I can see how much a truss weighs 137 pounds and 2x4 16 weighs X and a piece of sheathing weighs Y. So I can do all that, but that doesn't mean that it still doesn't make me a little nervous. So yeah, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get my 180 set up and I'm gonna get a perfect square line so I know where these trusses are gonna lay out. I'm gonna use this as my backspace so everything can get set tight to this wall to set up, and then I can square off of it so that when it comes time, I can put some sheathing on this roof, put some overhangs on it. I'm gonna try and do as much as I think I can mathematically to stay within the capacity confines of the Magni. Wish me luck, let's get into it. I am excited though, man. I just gotta keep track of how much weight we put on these bad boys. These sawhorses probably need to be somewhere in here. The midpoint, right? This is 24. Yeah, something like that. That's pretty close. I think we're good. So then we'll just take this, Greg, and let's do a staggered 2-ply then. All right, so I'm just gonna use the 180 because I'm going to use it to get a square line off this so I can make sure that we build this square to the building. It's just a good thing to square to. Gives us a nice solid line, but also the 180 does have a horizontal laser, and I'm gonna check grade on our sawhorses because the porch is level. I need my sawhorses to be level so we don't build it kind of out of whack, just because I don't wanna have to force it back to level when we install this thing. Let's see, what we got going on here, guys, is we've got a truss. It's kind of like that. This elevation is 18.6. This is 21.1. So I just want to make sure that when we build this, we're somewhat close to this. That is why we're going to set one end here, which is our 18.6, and then the dog leg comes up and is going to set on top of these sawhorses. Is it necessary? Probably not, but I just want to be able to visualize it like that. And so 18.6, we're about, I don't know, whatever that is, at 1'7" above there. So if we're sitting roughly 13.5 inches, I just want to go down the rest of this and I'll make sure we're sitting at 13.5 inches. Okay, so Greg, this got to come up 3/4 of an inch. That's easy. So this is going to be our bearing. This is what we're going to build off of, and we're just doing that so we have something nice and straight. I don't know, I could be overthinking all of this, guys, but the last thing I want to do is build this and put it in place, having it all put together, and then have to undo it because it's not right. I don't want to take too much time here. I just want to make sure we're close. 13.5. Okay, I'm good with that. So we're going to be going up against that. These are 24 foot exactly. Hey, not bad. Is it even moving?
Think so.
So now what that allowed us to do is just get a square line off of this wall that we're going to be setting these trusses up against so that we can make sure we build them square. It'll just save time, I think, later. The only thing I need to do is get myself a mark here so I know what corresponds there. So that'll be the start of our layout. And we're going to go 2 foot on center from there, which means back 3/4. Back 3/4. And then once we put our bracing on, everything will fall there exactly. I just want to start as close to the correct position as possible. Okay, so now that we have the layout, we can go ahead and start putting our trusses in place. That way you'll just grab a tail and just walk it right over top of this sucker. That's gonna have to go there, buddy.
Okay,
I can't lift it anymore. I mean, I can. I got kind of the power of God right here in my fingertips, but
not quite.
Not quite. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't want to roll over.
It doesn't want to roll over, yeah. All right.
And we'll want to get this first one kind of braced up. And just throw one screw in just temporarily on this one so it doesn't move on us. Before we get going, let's make up some boards that are 2 foot on center that we'll get them in here and we'll actually screw them as we go and just slide them right underneath. And they'll all just fall right in. It's gonna be sweet, man. I'm excited. All right, let's go. Now I'm excited. Once again, I'm marking with my right hand across myself because nobody makes a tape that goes the other way. So this is the only way I can do it because I'm incapable of reading upside down letters. Maybe I could talk to Mark about making a 16. Oh, he's got a 24 inch, I guess.
Square?
Well, square, yeah. Doesn't have a heel like that on it, but you put your stair knobs on it, you know?
I don't like it.
No, I don't like it. All right. I'm gonna climb up there, okay? You good with that?
Nope.
Okay, I'll get a ladder then.
Yep. I think those heads are a little different on those screws.
That was all me. I was being...
No, because I also having issues with it as well.
Well, then it's your problem. Screws are probably fine. Just to give us a little triangular stiffening action. Man, these screws are all messed up, dude.
Told ya.
Now we'll just slide these in and get them connected one at a time. All right, now that we're getting this, laid out, it probably makes more sense to you guys, or maybe it already did, but this right here, this is a flat bottom cord with a scissor cord. So this is how we're gonna have this huge extra ceiling height in the dormer up in the second story is by this truss right here. So that's why we went to a 2 foot on center truss. It just made sense for the framing purposes. And this is laying out really nice. I think it's gonna go pretty easy. So we'll finish this layout and then we'll move on to straightening, squaring, and hopefully some sheathing so that we can get it hung. All right, buddy. Here, get it under there. Okay. Hold that.
Can you come my way?
Just 1 second. All right, there is our truss set. So that's what we're going to fly into place. Now that it's up, it doesn't look as big as I thought it might, Greg. Or
still pretty
does it?
big.
Okay. I think what we're gonna do though is we're gonna run some 2x12s here, all the way down, just for pick points so that we can then get some cables around them and then get to our straps. Because I don't wanna lift from here. You're not really supposed to lift from your peak of your truss just because you don't want any harm done to those gusset plates. But I think if we do the 2x12, I think it'll be good. And then we'll get it straightened out. Or maybe we should straighten it out. So we don't have too much framing we have to maneuver and manipulate. Let's cut our fascia, let's get it on, and then we'll get it all straightened out. And it should be 22.5.
Not bad.
It better be 22.5.
That one's a
All right,
16.
stop measuring. It doesn't matter. You're not gonna grow wood. We'll get it on and we'll straighten it out. Dang, dude. The way you knew where that was was just, it was inspiring. Awe-inspiring, actually. Something tells me, though, that one's not too good. Come up a little. Down a little. Up a little. I wonder how many people are going to go into the comments and be like, you can't use screws for framing. They'll break. You got to use a nail. Use in framing and decking. So I think I'm okay. So these are going to be probably overkill, but we're going to use these to support the whole roof. So we can strap to this, and instead of just strapping straight up to the bottom cord of the truss, we're going to run the straps underneath this, and this will sit underneath all the peak webs. It's what I dreamed up when I was laying in bed last night, couldn't sleep. Well, I cannot believe I was able to slide that in there. I can't see, my truss keeps moving on me.
Think it's safe to walk on?
100%. Yes.
If I die.
You will not. It will not go anywhere now. I don't think anyway. So we're just adding some bracing. Greg and I are trying to decide if we need to do much more. I still think I want to put some sheathing on. I think it will be easier to get some sheathing on here than to do it up there, obviously. And I think it will also keep it from racking. Even though we've got it and it's pretty solid, as soon as we lift this up, it's going to probably do a little bit of movement. So if we add 400 pounds of sheathing to the other side, in theory, it would help balance it. Am I right or right?
In theory, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, we'll do our 3-2-1 sheathing on the front. When I say that, I mean like a triangle. 3, 2, 1. We'll space it so that it's staggered and all good. Okay, I like it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and run our sheathing, and typically, you know, you have this on a solid surface that you can push and pull against. We don't really have that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the sheathing as our straightener, kind of like we do when we put sheathing on a post frame roof and we don't have anything really solid either. So instead of snapping a line at 4 foot, we're gonna just run it flush on the face of our fascia. And hopefully it doesn't turn into a bad decision. I don't think it will. All right, Greg, which one are we gonna go to? I don't like this because there's a joint.
Stabila challenge.
We're gonna start here then.
No, I thought we had to start one in.
Why? Because, oh, because the outlooker?
I think the outlooker, because I think.
Yeah, we'll start here. You watch out for this saw. I put it right in the way so you'd have to trip over it.
Thought about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to break it.
You're moving it. We are trying to, hold that. We are trying to get this straight as possible. We thought by just sheathing it, it would straighten it out, but we're having to push and pull a lot with the sheathing, and to avoid having, see, like that one right there, this one, Greg, needs to come out 3/16
Out?
Yes. We're trying to get it as close as possible, so we're not pushing and pulling so much. Yeah, buddy, keep coming. So I think right now, kind of the way it is our wall is not very straight here. Yeah, hold that. So we're gonna fight this now because we don't have anything holding it. We have nothing holding the sheets. This is getting ahead of ourselves. We should have straightened it out. That's what we should have done. We should have put these on. We should have straightened every one of them to a line on the sawhorse first. Live and learn. It'll be all right. It's not, we haven't connected any of the sheathing, so that's what we're trying to avoid before we connect it. We want to make sure that we get as close as possible to our 1.5 inches, which actually, most of these, let's see, 2 foot. Most of these aren't far off. I mean, that's 1 9/16 inch. I mean, when I say 1 9/16, I'm looking at my tape measure. The 1.5 inches is right inside of this string line. Greg, this is all good. This needs to go in just a little, but everywhere else is actually better than I thought. And let me think about this. Duh. I have my chalk line here. We haven't finished this, and look at the tail off. See how this goes behind it? Because it's not where we want it yet. So if I do this and push this, let's just say flush-ish, my guess is that now I'm 1.5 inches. Yeah, duh. I'm fighting this down here. It's because this hasn't been done yet.
No, it hasn't been done.
But look down it now.
Oh, that's a whole lot better than what it was.
Let's finish this nailing, and I think we'll be probably pretty good. Give me a little bit, right there. And a little more, a little more. Inch and a half, inch and a half, inch and 15, 30 seconds, inch and a half. Okay, I feel much better about that. All right, I'm gonna nail off this bottom. I'm calling it good. And then next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that these things are square. And then we will nail the top off too. Okay, cool. So by following what truss we're ending on right here, by going up, we're going to check this guy right here for square to that corner, and then we'll go down and go over there. Oh. And this should make sure that our peak is actually square. Okay, Greg, I am 28 1/8. Yep. So we need to go 3/8 or 5/16, Greg. Oh, golly. Hold that, right? Just give me a hair more. I need a 16th. You want to jet stake it? Because you're going right back into the same spot. And hopefully we're right at 27/11, 3/16. We're 5/16. We need to go another 16th. We'll wait for Greg. Hey, Greg, give me a little bit more. I need like another 16th. What? It bounced. As soon as you let off, it just went right back.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what he's doing over there, so I don't know what to tell him. So now that the peak is pretty much locked in, this is locked in. The middle here, that's where we're just gonna push and pull it to make this sheathing work. So can I take that gun there, big dog? I'm just gonna go ahead and run this. It does feel pretty good, doesn't it?
Feels like a roof deck.
All right. So much nicer, man.
Yeah, I've done this before.
Oh, okay.
It's not very often, but done it before.
All right, we're getting close to the moment of truth here. And I doubt this is gonna pick up and be a perfect pick because I don't think the load is balanced. So we might have to add a couple straps to kind of keep it from teetering. We shall see. This is all kind of new for us. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't do it the right way, man. Yeah, okay. See, took you 2 times also. Okay, back's off.
My side's off, that far side's off. The only thing that's not off is right here.
Let's see what the weight feels like in your hands. That's not that much. Okay, that's heavy. That's heavy there.
We were caught underneath there. That's why that.
What was caught?
We were underneath the girth.
Oh, yes.
So all it's going to do is it's going to flip this way.
Yeah, but here's my question, dude. That didn't seem like it was. That seemed like it wanted to spread apart.
Yeah.
We need
to go probably take our cables in one more.
Yes. We're just going to move this in because it appears to me that we don't have enough weight outside, so as we lifted it, there's too much weight in the middle, wanted to sag it, and we're trying to find a balance point so that the exterior weight kind of balances the weight inside of the straps, hopefully. So we're just gonna move one bay. According to my math, we're not overweight. It's just, I think, a balancing game, making sure that we have it in the right spot, I guess. All right. We determined that we have too much weight over there. So we're gonna and I think this is okay. We're gonna go ahead and add a row on this backside. It all gets buried underneath the valley, and it will just tie all this together. For one, it'll make it stronger, but also it should balance the load a little bit better. So we're gonna go ahead and run this sheet across this bottom, and hopefully this should balance the weight a little bit. It's kind of hard to know until you start picking things up. You can do all the math, but because of balance points and I don't know, it seems a little bit difficult. All right. Can you hit that?
Sit back, Buttercup.
I'm gonna just sit and watch, dude. Watch a master at work.
Let me get in here and help you, dude.
Maybe go grab another sheet.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Who's the boss now?
You are, man.
That's right. I'm the boss.
So it's Friday. Can I get paid today?
No.
Let's see what it does. All right, so we've lifted it up. We have it close to balance, but there's still too much weight on this side. And instead of just keep on adding sheeting, we're gonna add more pick points. We're gonna add 2 more straps and hopefully balance it so that it picks it even more even. We want it to pick it more even so that it's not lopsided and not putting unequal pressure on things. So yeah, we're gonna try and restrap this and see how it does. At this rate, maybe Cole will be home to fly this in.
Here's a problem I see. A lot of the weight is on these 2 straps, which the straps should still be fine. But
The gussets?
that one's flexing a little bit.
I mean, definitely there's a little sag in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'd already be halfway up there right now.
Yeah, there's a little strain here as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of strain right there on that guy. Only in the sheet though, which is weird. I'm sure I'm overthinking this thing. It seems fine. The longer it sits here, the more chance of something happening versus if we just get it up there and get it done. I think the only thing I really want to do is add a little support right where that one strap is. I feel like that is the wise move. All right, big guy, I like it. It's not creaking like crazy. I mean, we've got a little sag in the middle. I'm just gonna take it nice and slow, Greg. Can you start spinning it?
Yep.
This is kind of crazy. I think a lot of times guys have crane operators come in and do this. I'm a little bit anxious, but it seems to be doing okay. Cross your fingers. All right, dude, this is kind of crazy. Like when you see that up there, it's up there in the air. Greg, I'm gonna start kind of bringing it in nice and slow. I wish it keep spinning first, right?
Huh?
I gotta keep spinning first. Look at it, dude.
That's pretty cool. You got to keep it this way, then you got to kind of like set it and then slide it back and down.
I see what you're saying. Oop, oop. Nice and easy. Just trying to get this thing somewhat straightened out. I'm caught on that purlin right there. See if I can go underneath of it.
There you go.
Okay, I feel good about that, man. Good tagline work, way to talk me through it and make me feel like I was doing the job right. So we got a little bit of a swale, so we'll have to go up there now. I'm more worried about this wall because that wall's on a 3-ply, Greg.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. All right, we got it up here. We just need to get it placed in the exact position, which is proving to be a little bit of a challenge because we've got some of these purlins kind of in our way. Come on, man. All right, we're gonna do this real quick. Stay safe. There we go. Ugh. We already marked the top of this girder truss where we knew we needed to go. So I'm just gonna lay this down. I'm gonna shift it over because I got a line right here that I'm trying to hit. And might as well try to get it as close as we can before we set it down so we do as little work as possible. Because then we gotta move all this weight. I'm just trying to move very nimbly.
Yeah, I'm about an inch from where I want to be.
So you need me to come over and help you push it that way an inch?
Yes, come this way an inch.
Okay.
Or bring the wall over or something.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead then and with the drill I don't have, I'm gonna put a screw in here. Thing is, I don't want to take the weight off with the Magni because then it might, this is the heavy side, so as soon as I lift it up, it lifts the other side up and puts us back where we don't want it. So I kind of gotta, we're gonna do a little manual labor here. You tell me when, Greg.
Okay, go ahead. Hold that. A little more if you got it.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna take the Magni and kind of.
But I don't think it. I think it's either the wall. Like, I don't know if we can square it with all the sheathing and stuff we have on it.
Square it.
Yeah.
No, we just need to make sure that the trusses are square. I'm gonna take weight off.
Oh, okay.
9 3/4.
Yep, 9 3/4
is the edge.
Yep.
And then from there you should be 2 foot center.
Correct.
And over here we've already got our marks on our girder, which boom, there's a mark right there. So we definitely didn't make this easy on us. Right there. There's our mark. So I should be able to go through and put some temporary toenails, and then we'll get some hurricane clips that'll tie that all together. Back of this has got to hit these on flush, which it might vary because this stupid 3-ply header is not very tight. So where the plies are kind of, you know, tight and then not tight and then tight, it's going to change how this potentially goes in. So I'm going to just have to get as close as I can. There's not much I can really do about it. I'm going for close. As long as I'm close on most. Hey, that's my new saying. We'll make a t-shirt. Close on most. Yeah. It may not be perfect, but I would say definitely took longer than I thought it was going to take to do all this. And harder? No, probably not harder, just more to think about, more to plan, more to make sure everything was correct before we did it. But honestly, hard part's done now. So we've got 2 little end bays that we'll wrap up tomorrow and then work on sheathing the roof. Well, actually we gotta do fascia, overhangs, squaring, straightening, plumbing, all that good stuff. But one thing at a time. I'm getting out of here for the night. It's the end of the night, end of the day, start of the night. Look at that.